Come with us now, if you dare, down a rickety staircase into a dank, dark basement. What awaits? The Saturday Night Freak Show.
Welcome to the Saturday Night Freak Show podcast. Episode number?
Q Thunder.
I don't even know what episode it is. It's like 170 something, maybe closing at 180.
Sure.
We should probably check
because that's a landmark. 180.
We're gonna celebrate 200.
Well, sure.
Once we get there. This is a movie review podcast. This is a review. We talk about movies. We watch movies every week, whether you want us to or not. Then we sit down here in the dank, dark basement and talk about it for your listening pleasure and edification. You can get a hold of us on Facebook. We're Saturday Night Freak Show. Facebook.com/Saturday Night Freak Show. We're on Twitter. Sat Freak Show. You can email us. Saturday Night Freak Show at yahoo.com. And we'll read your comments on the air if you do. These are the internet radio superstars.
Holly.
Sean.
Travis.
And I'm Colin. And since we go round robin, and everybody gets to pick a movie tonight, Sean chose the movie that we watched.
Sometimes we shouldn't be allowed to pick movies. I picked 1988's Watchers.
Ooh,
Based
not
on
The Watcher.
No, not The Watcher. Watchers. Based on the Dean Koontz novel.
Dean Koontz.
Anybody read it?
No.
I have not.
I
I've
saw
read a lot of Dean Koontz, but I have not read that
Have you
book.
read a lot of Dean
Yeah,
Koontz?
yeah.
Crazy.
He has.
He's like the poor man.
He's the
Stephen
poor man
King,
Stephen
right?
King,
Yeah.
but he's the one I started reading
He's
before
like
I discovered like Stephen King.
More adult than R.L. Stein, but like
Yeah.
not as,
Basically,
not
yes.
as deep as Stephen King.
Basically, yes.
Don't knock R.L. Stein.
Oh, I know.
Also, yeah, don't do that. But yeah, that's basically
Christopher Pike. Okay,
that's the level
I'll
it
go
goes
Christopher
through.
Pike.
That's fair.
All right,
God damn.
those are the levels.
I can't believe I only know his I've only seen the covers. Like, I bet that's stupid.
I think I owned a couple of Christopher Pike novels at one
Yeah.
point.
It's one of the
That
beginner.
doesn't surprise me.
That was like the YA of the day, right?
Yeah.
Of the 90s, where just create like Goosebumps and fucking Christopher Pike and
Hell
Dean
yeah,
Koontz.
Goosebumps.
So,
Yeah, Goosebumps.
Are You Afraid of the Dark was just a TV show, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Canadian TV show.
A wonderful, wonderful TV show.
God, I love that show.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So good.
So this is can exploitation, right? This movie,
This is Roger Corman.
It is Corman.
but it's shot in Canada.
Yeah,
Yes, it is very much. It says so in the opening credits, like Canadian Entertainment Incorporated.
Yeah, and we got Michael Ironside, who's Canadian, but and it's filmed in nice,
A
scenic
wooded, scenic
Canadian
Canada.
locales,
Yeah.
but nobody says a.
Or a
Oh,
boot.
sorry, or
Yeah,
well,
none
because
of that.
I don't think they're.
Oh, truly.
Because I think
That sounded
you
Irish.
get down to Hollywood, you got to get that out of there. You got to like, you
Yeah,
know,
they're trying to make it
care.
as like,
God damn it!
get in the care.
I'm gonna
the
be
care.
I'll be a Gard. Gard.
Would it have been better if it had that in it? True or
No.
false?
I
No.
guess.
But all it needs is all
You
it
can make fun of
needs.
their funny accents, of course.
Well, the sheriff's department did have accents. The horrible sheriff and the girl
It was
sheriff.
trying to be like,
he was
what
what?
you do when they did there? It was
Yeah,
just like,
it was-
okay, was that
It
Texas?
was Southern. I don't know where
Alabama?
they're
It
going
can't be
with that.
Canadian, but can we twist your accent a little bit?
Shucks, yeah, we sure could. I'm like, oh my god. But so this is a story about a dog.
Yeah, a
And I-
super hyper intelligent dog.
I
Yeah. It's mostly about the dog.
it's well,
Unfortunate.
well. I
But
mean,
that was a cool thing, wasn't it?
yeah,
No?
I thought so.
a movie about a dog.
Kind of. I mean, really. I mean, I mean, the only thing this movie has in it is fucking
Corey Haim.
Michael Ironside and Corey Haim, right?
Yeah.
Those
No,
are the
no.
two actors.
Jason Priestley.
Jason
Fuck
Priestley.
yeah, Jason Priestley. I would have
With great
completely
hair.
forgot
Like,
about that.
Yes.
Nice young hair.
I totally yelled out when I saw him. I was like, "Oh my god!"
So did I. So
Like,
did I.
what?
He's not. He's the biggest star in this movie.
Right, they gave him a
Didn't even know
single.
it.
Like they didn't give that to the other guys. They were all in a group shot, but they gave him a single.
Oh, we'll get to it because they're for some reason these two stoner guys are hanging out with this little chubby
Piggy.
dweeb kid. I'm like, oh, those are his bikes. I know. So,
That's
but
very true.
and this is like Corey Haim's. Like this has to be his this is his awkward years, right? This is like
Very much
Yeah.
so.
We're
His
trying to
voice is
figure out-
very high.
How old he was? He was 17.
He was
he was
17.
17. Yeah. So
This is right after the Lost Boys.
Yeah, this is a year after, isn't it?
So it was
Yeah.
what? It was his horror cred was like Silver Bullet, right? Was that 85?
Silver Bullet.
Lost
Silver
Boys
Bullet.
87, Watchers 88, and then on to bigger and better things like License
License
to
to Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. before going back into direct-to-video obscurity, like blown away.
Well, it's because they're
and
always
stuff
trying to make him like a cool kid. You know what I mean? Like I mean, his fucking hair in this
Look at his
movie,
hair.
It's just like, what is that? Is that kind of like feathered back, but kind of like, I don't even know.
Yeah. He's also the kid who can't shut his fucking mouth.
No, we notice he's constantly got his like.
Well, there's like a little smile, like,
Yeah.
Corey Haim, like he knows it.
He does.
So yeah, this is Corey Haim reprising his famous character role as Corey Haim.
Yeah.
And so Corey Haim finds a dog. Well, no, first a facility just blows up. Just a facility blows up, right? And two
I'm pretty
things
sure this
escape.
happens in all the movies. Like that's how they all begin.
Oh,
A facility
something
blows
explodes.
up. Yep.
Yeah. A government research facility explodes.
Experimental.
And two of the experiments get loose. A dog, a genetically modified, super intelligent dog named GH3. What Furface?
GH3. Furface. Yeah, that was great.
Named
Dean
by
Koontz is
Corey
very
Haim.
creative.
Yep.
And the other thing is the Oxnard.
Oxcom.
No, what's it?
Oxcom.
The Oxnard.
Oxcom.
What's
They
Oxcom
make sure to
stand
say
for?
it fucking. It's outside experimental something mammal.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Oh
what
shit! Combat mammal.
Combat mammal. But why is
Oxcom.
experiment X in that
Right.
abbreviation?
Because you can't get
I'm trying to figure that out.
It's the OE-com.
It should be called OCOM. They won't get that scene where they're just like the Oxcom and the Oxcom. What's the Oxcom? The Oxcom. I'm like, fuck. They want you to know this name. Like,
And
this
they have a VHS tape labeled on the side, Oxcom.
What's a good thing, or
Because
else you
top
would-
secret ones just get labeled like that.
Oxcom, top secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't made with his little like name maker from the 80s.
The little label
Should've
maker.
been- oh,
The label
God, that
maker.
would be awesome.
Oxcom,
Yeah.
top secret.
Yeah. So wait, did the tape come from the facility? Did someone
Michael
escape the
Fass-
fire? Or he
I
had-
don't-
Ironside.
I'm gonna
You
keep
always
calling
say
him
Fassbender. You always say Fassbender.
Because the fucking TV rams that name in your face nowadays that I can't like Fassbender. Now Michael comes with Fassbender. So
It does.
Ironside. Okay, eyebrows.
Stop hitting yourself,
Ironside.
Travis. Stop hitting yourself.
So he is some like government dude that just has like top.
That's it. That's all you
the
need to say.
National
He's some government
Security
dude.
Organization. He's an agent, right?
Mhm.
Who's tasked with recovering the Oxcom.
And who was his partner? I swear I've seen that.
Oh,
guy.
I've seen
Oh,
him
yeah.
in a bunch of stuff. He
I
was the
don't
black
know
guy
his
in the
name.
80s.
Can anybody come Google it? Holly's on it.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain.
We will have this information.
Was he Lala? I hope he was Lala.
Lala.
That was Tracy.
Tracy.
So okay, so what? This
It explodes. Let's go back to that. And
Yeah, I
the
guess-
dog runs off. The monster follows.
I mean,
in the
to
woods.
make this, I guess, conversation maybe a little bit more interesting while talking about the movie. Now, would you actually say this is bad acting by a dog, or is this bad editing? Because it's like, the dog could do really tricksy shit
Right.
when he runs in the back of, like, Corey Haim's visiting his girlfriend, and I like that her father comes out and is like, is that Cornhole Boy? Or not Cornhole Boy?
Might as well have been.
Yeah, but
the Cornwell. Yeah,
but he says it
Cornwell
like
up there?
stupid, like you don't know what WELL like Cornwall. She's like, it's Cornwell, Dad. Cheers.
Yeah.
And so,
Coitus interruptus. I didn't even get that far. This movie's rated R, right?
oh
We
my
established
god,
it is rated
but
R?
why?
For the last 5 minutes of the movie.
for
And
the
that's it.
for
And
the
that's it.
bloody werewolf glove.
Yeah,
that is
basically.
featured throughout.
There's a headless effect at one point and some...
And he gets a little gorier later on when fucking I almost said Fassbender. When Ironside
I
gets
know,
stabbed when Ironside gets stabbed like through the neck into the post.
Yeah. This is a spoiler cast, by the way. You've probably been listening
so-
to this before, but yeah.
I mean, so most of the movie are like scenes between Corey Haim and the dog, and then Michael Ironside just explaining what the creature is, since we won't see it
Ever.
The creature is like, okay, so if I understand
The
this
Oxcom.
correctly, all right. I have an idea of like what it is and kind of what it does, but I'm not sure why. So
Yeah.
the creature was developed as a military application. We're going to send a bunch of these Oxcoms into combat, and they're gonna. Well, I guess we
send the dog out. Yes.
into an enemy camp.
It infiltrates
because we know how enemy camps love dogs.
They love dogs.
Oh, puppy!
Yeah, why not?
Dogs.
And the Oxcom is telepathically linked to the dog, and so it follows it wherever it goes, and then it just kills everything in its path. And unfortunately, it also kills the dog as well.
Yeah, there's
It eats
just
the dog.
the only problem.
That's the problem. It kills the dog.
Its
too.
only link is like, I'm gonna kill that fucking dog. Where's our dog? I'm gonna kill that dog. Because
the Oxcom
monster does.
It's also hyper intelligent, but they said it's basically
insane.
disturbed. It's mad. Its
Yes.
emotions are unstable. But here you go. The Oxcom's method of killing people, because it basically resembles.
Can you please? I'm sorry. I'll go back for just a second. Can you please say how Michael Ironside said that? Like, how smart is this thing? As smart as a crazy person, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, not smart at all. Is that what you're saying? All right, I guess.
Crazy, as smart as a madman. What does he say?
Smart as a crazy
Something like
person.
that.
Yeah, as smart as a crazy
That's
person.
exactly what
dun
it
dun
says.
dun. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, it's like, is that smart? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that's not a level I would gauge smartness on.
We
Because they
found
were
it
saying it
sitting
can't
30
reason.
feet from the blaze, just going.
Yeah, it makes sounds like a pig that we got, and you basically see
Yeah.
a guy in a furry suit, kind of, sort of. I
Oh,
say
man.
"see"
And Monster Vision.
in quotes because you don't really see this. You see something run across the frame really quick, or an arm reach in, and then it cuts, and all this
hair.
other stuff. They're basically trying to camouflage that they have a really, really, really bad monster
We
suit.
don't have a monster.
But the thing kills
We had
people.
an ape suit, and
And we
it
put
kinda
like a
fell
head
apart.
on it. It was an
It's a
animatronic.
Sasquatch
animatronic-
Yeah.
from like 20 years ago from another movie we made.
Yeah,
Yeah, Harry and
yeah.
the Hendersons weren't using it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Maybe. I mean,
They
what's
don't know?
crazy, even though, we're going to get to the end, I was like, when they did show the head, didn't it kind of look like the Creep Show monster? Like it could have been like
yeah, I
right?
suppose you say-
It
you
looked
know,
like
you
it
say
could have been a fucking like
fluffy.
extra dummy
But again,
version.
it's like the
that you could beat up.
poor man's version of Stephen King
Yeah, well,
in that regard.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's where the movie fails to me personally is well, okay, no, hold on. Before I talk about how it fails, I mean, I like
it get right?
the idea of the story of like, oh, a dog. This kid finds a super smart dog, right? But I think Corey Haim was a little too old for like, I don't give a shit about a kid being like, a dog, mom, he's super smart. Unless
Right.
he's like 14 or 15, not fucking
Right.
Corey
Well, yeah,
Haim,
but-
17-year-old Corey
but
Haim.
he reads as to when you watch him.
Come on, Ma.
Visually, he seems like a lot younger than 17.
And his voice hits
Yeah,
that
when-
pitch.
Because at the beginning, he's like seducing this girl in a barn, and I'm like, how fucking old is this kid? Because he looks like he's 12, you know, and he's about to get it on with this hot girl, and it's like, it seems odd. The monster kills people by tearing its eyes out. Tell me why.
And
Anybody.
apparently taking their heads
No
off.
idea.
It's a Sasquatch or whatever that
But
might
it goes
Yeah,
out of its
I don't
way
know.
to pull the eyes out of its victims' heads. That's how you know that
Yeah.
the monsters kill people.
This is where I think like this is where I'm like, oh, dude, this is a total book idea, right?
That might
'Cause
be
if
an
you're
element of the
reading-
book that
If
they
you're
just put
reading the
in.
book, I'm sure like the Oxcom or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm sure it can see through the dog's vision, and the dog can see through its vision. I bet the book totally goes into that shit. right?
Probably.
I'm sure it's all in the book, dude. I'm like, why didn't even? I expected at least some like dog Terminator vision in this. Right? I
Something,
want to see
yeah.
like a boy, mammal, and, you know.
That's right. It's a genetically engineered.
Yeah, I would almost
like-
guarantee that happens
What's
in the
that
book.
movie with Lance Henriksen? Is it Man's Best
Man's
Friend?
best
Fuck
friend
yeah,
with
Man's
Ali
Best
Sheedy.
Friend.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Yeah.
it have like Terminator vision for the
Oh,
dog?
yeah.
I think
does.
so,
It's
yeah.
like got a part
The
robot.
Rottweiler, yeah.
It's part leopard, part like I don't even
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Part leopard, part machine.
I
all dog.
think there's chameleon in there.
Robo
Everything
dog.
had to be chameleon in the
Yeah.
90s. Like,
Right,
it
yeah.
blends.
Yeah, because it
Still
can
is.
camouflage.
Jurassic
and go-
Well,
World.
no,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
exactly. That's how smart
Yeah.
Hollywood
Back.
is. That's why, like, what do we do new in The Hills Have Eyes Part 2? One of the mutants can camouflage himself. Brilliant.
It's
on
just
it.
a staple. It's a staple of the
Yeah,
genre.
it really is.
It cycles
So
through,
is
it
the
comes back.
White Elf. The White Elf villain. Hollywood loves their White Elf villains.
Yeah.
So
But Corey Haim, right? You were talking about he's
like-
not young. He doesn't.
he just doesn't seem young enough for this role, but
Right.
I just fucking love a story. I do love a story about a dog that somehow I think when we brought this up last week, I was talking about Bad Moon, where it's this a boy and his dog, protecting him from a werewolf. I'm like, dude, I love boy and his dogs, and the dog's gonna like whatever. But like, what ruins every moment in this movie to me is the fucking score. Joel Goldsmith, is that Jerry Goldsmith's fucking like
I'm not sure.
retarded brother? Or
He's done other stuff. I've seen his name a couple times. I don't know if it's anything good or not, but
his music was just so fucking like hammy, dude.
Synthesizer stuff where
But
they're trying to do like all these like heart warming moments between the boy and the dog. Yeah, it's like, look, it's like E.T. See, that's what it felt like they were going for.
If Disney Channel wanted to do a horror movie, this is what it feels like they would do.
If it was on Disney, I'd been like, bravo, Disney
It would be.
It would be. It'd be a great Disney Channel horror movie.
This is a great Disney Channel original movie.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's no surprise that the dog finds its way intelligently to Corey Haim to escape from the Oxcom that kills Corey Haim's girlfriend's father.
Yes, twists his head off.
Yeah, and so then it tries to get in with Corey Haim's family. I guess it's like, hey, Corey Haim's cool, and like I like hanging out here, and the dog can do amazing things. Like, hey, if you can go to the refrigerator and get a pack of hot dogs, you can have one of them. Dog understands English. This is like every boy's fantasy, right?
Have the
that
smart
you would
dog?
Have a smart fucking pet.
That's every boy's fantasy.
Yeah.
Well, I
guess
it's
so.
one of them.
It's
If you don't have girlfriends,
fantasy, all right?
I guess his girlfriend
Girls
must have been
don't exist
dull
in
or
that
something
universe.
like that.
Yeah, that man's best friend is actually somehow intelligent and can
Well, because we
You can
have
talk to it, it
psychically
understands
linked with
you.
animal. Like, I mean, that's why dogs used to fucking be wolves, and then them feeding off our trash, they knew, hey, man, these fucking dudes give us food, and we've made them docile, and we've psychically linked with dogs. That's why dogs are always like, I know when you have cancer, Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Heightened senses of smell. Oh.
Or just that sense,
Yeah,
hey,
cancer
human,
smells like bacon.
I'm ready.
I
You're
don't know
like,
if
you
you guys
won't
knew
feed
that, but
me
it smells like
anymore.
bacon.
That's how they know. They're just like, oh, this guy is
Or
a
bacon
dead
strips.
fish. We can't give any Alpo. Fucking like, this guy.
Yeah.
Alpo snaps.
But,
How did the dog end up going to school?
He just
He
ran
just
away
walked
and
there.
went to school. Like, he's like, you stay here. I'm going to school.
Well, because-
and
well-
the dog ran off.
yeah, is that when did Corey Haim find out something happened to his girlfriend's father? Was it
Like,
before he went
randomly,
to school?
wait, it's the father?
Yeah, because then
Mom
they're like,
comes in and tells him, I have the message, something I got to tell you.
There's an after school moment where the mom comes and is like, there was an accident.
I can't believe the mom is worse than Corey Haim. It's like, I can't believe this shit.
Oh, she's terrible.
She's horrible.
As an actress?
Oh, yeah. She was
Oh,
really
yeah.
bad.
Really bad.
I mean,
Wasn't great. But,
yeah, she was a female
I've
actress.
seen worse.
I've seen worse. Like, I
Yeah.
usually hone in on bad
It was
acting.
really
and it was
bad.
like,
It was
I mean, for
pretty-
this type of movie, it was
mean,
almost
right.
like everybody
Not
was
like
like
her.
adequate.
I mean,
Right.
it's not like her like body language or facial expressions were bad. It was just how she delivered lines. She's just like, I don't know. I can't even.
Emotionless.
Yeah, just kind of like, I'm acting now.
Oh my God, you're safe. I've seen worse.
But
It
I
wasn't
did
great, but
like,
I've seen
once again, that's another fantasy scene, right? Where your mom catches you with the dog, and then you can like prove it to her,
Mm.
Right?
Look at this super smart dog. And she's like, yeah, I guess so.
You can
This
keep
is a
him.
pretty bright dog.
Which one's
It's
a
like,
deer?
Yeah.
But you didn't think with the dog, the editing of the movie?
Yeah,
like,
because, okay, there's the
betrayed
scene where
the smart dog?
there's the scene, because at first I really was like, oh, cool, when he's like, I've got nothing to eat, and then he smiles like he's some drug dealer, like, except for a candy bar. And like, it's
In
like,
the glove
Jesus,
box, and
what a
I'm like,
sneaky fuck. What are you, you're 17, you got a candy bar? And that's what I'm saying. The guy's a little too old for this role.
Yes.
But then when the dog like reaches in and like undoes the glove box and takes it out, it's like, oh fuck, I totally understood. I was really shocked. But then there's the scene where when Corey Haim is going to leave him in the garage, and he's like, you gotta stay here. When he does finally stay here, that was like the worst scene because like Corey Haim goes to leave, the dog
Follows him,
goes to follow. He's like, oh no, dude, you gotta stay here, blah blah blah. And then he like, I don't know, sits or some shit. Corey Haim goes to leave, the dog follows him again, and then you totally see the dog
following the trainer.
have the attention of the trainer, and then he just like totally like goes to him, but then like stops, sits, and then lays down. I'm like, that was fucking horrible.
Yeah, there are scenes in this movie where you can see the dog following the treat as it's going around.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but there are some in there you can see.
And this is why this is Sandy the dog's only movie. It's like, it is. I looked it up.
Poor Sandy.
Can you really accuse a dog of being a bad actor?
That's why I don't know.
Can
That's
you?
why that's why we're
Look at
talking
the
about
Fraser
editing.
dog. Look at the Fraser dog.
True.
I mean, some dogs
I feel
are...
like we're really fucking reaching now. You got to
I'm
compare
just saying.
actor dogs.
Well, that's why I
Well,
posed the
I
question.
mean,
I posed the question:
Eddie
was this
was pretty
bad
awesome
editing?
on
Because
Fraser.
I
Eddie
said,
was pretty
well,
awesome.
I was surprised when he took. That's why I prefaced with how surprised I was when he took the candy bar out. I thought that was really cool. And then when I saw that, I was like, oh, what the fuck? Like you couldn't think of anything else to do. Just be like, stay here, and then
Stay
cut
here,
the
buddy.
fucking scene. Like, you don't even need to show that.
Right.
You know, it's fucking people, you had to make it 88 minutes.
Sure.
So I guess. No, it was an hour. It was an hour 26. It was.
Plus credits or with credits? I didn't even know.
It was like
what-
hour 127 with credits.
Yeah. But 80s credits were shorter, so it's
That's
only
very
like 2
true.
minutes or 3 minutes and stuff.
That's true. Wasn't
10.
a lot of crew in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so at the same time that the dog is making nice with the Haim family, the Wookalar,
Oxcom.
I'm throwing that out there because that
Yeah, what is
surprised
this
the
Wookalar
shit out of
thing?
me.
Yes.
That Holly threw that back. That's the Private Eyes. It's a classic.
Private Eyes, Don Knotts, Tim Conway.
and Don Knotts
Hells
movie.
yeah.
Is tracking them down. But it's like doing this through stalking kids in the woods and killing random guys in trailer parks and all that stuff. As it tries to make it apparently across the entire county. Catch
finds a
the-
random bum who lives by the river in a school bus, kills him.
That's what I don't understand.
I
It's
was
like,
more fascinated by that guy. I was like, how does he get to this point in life?
Right? How the
yeah,
fuck
'cause
can
he
we-
had a pretty nice,
we look
pretty
at- can
sweet
we look at
setup.
his story?
Like living by the river, he's got a bus that he lives in. It looks like he's doing all right.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how just the dog jumping into Corey Haim's truck somehow got him
to the other side of hell.
within a day's reach of the fucking creature. That's why I'm like, what the fuck? How far away does he live from his girlfriend?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I
Next
don't know.
county over, next town
And
over.
why-
I don't-
Apparently.
that's just why, I don't know, I feel like the movie fails in some weird ways because it's like, you should think the Oxcom should be like right behind the dog and all this shit, right? Or that would
Right.
build suspense.
It would. No,
if you're like,
instead-
everywhere the dog goes, the fucking creature follows.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah.
Instead, we get these like 5-minute just like now the dog's gonna do this. Oh, we followed him to school.
Oh, we got
That's
gremlins.
nice.
Yeah,
Basically.
we follow him to school, and then the fucking monster is hiding behind the computer desks, and
It really
the
is.
teacher's just like, "Hello."
He's
I'm like,
standing
"What the
behind-
fuck?"
It's like, you can't see
That
that.
thing is a goddamn Bigfoot, you know? Yeah, I was like,
Damn.
okay, man.
So it does eventually make it to the school, kill the
Kills
teacher
the
and
Asian
the,
computer teacher.
Hey, what do you say?
I'm
Asians
saying it's
can be computer-
racist.
I don't think
talking
so.
about?
Nowadays, that's diverse, guys. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
That's
You
where
know
it
what?
needs
That's
to
true.
be.
We are. We're cycling back around. We're like, that's diverse.
Yeah, now we are. Like,
We are.
why
We're
isn't
going
that
back to-
ninja an Asian guy?
we are.
We are.
We're going
This is
right back
another-
around.
yeah, dude.
Wow.
Yeah, this
Oh.
is another. This
Yeah.
is why we should have a commentary podcast. Anyway,
Well, the thing that I guess that drove me nuts about that whole the time period between like where the fucking thing was that we keep cutting back to Michael Ironside and his partner, who while supposedly they're in pursuit of this thing.
did you
but
find out
what-
who that partner's from?
Yeah, he's from like
Everything.
straight to video movie ever
what's
made.
his name?
Sure. Yeah, what is his
Actor's name.
His name
actor?
is
Oh, it's like
Blue.
blue.
Yeah, Blue Mankuma.
Blue
Oh,
Mankuma.
wow.
Yeah,
I liked him. He
I
was
recognize his
He's been in
face,
a bunch
but
of stuff.
I couldn't.
yeah, he's
tell
been
ya.
in a lot of shit.
Yeah, but basically it cuts back to them, researching videotapes and explaining to us like where the Oxcom came from, and I'm like,
And I'm gonna set this
shouldn't
one
you
on fire.
guys be like chasing this thing down because
How
it's
could
out
they?
there right
We
now.
need exposition. The black guy doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't have a monster, so we need to spend every moment with people. Well, no, he had to kill the sheriff
Well,
That was
that's
the first
other
thing. You're like,
yeah.
why the fuck did Michael Ironside kill that guy?
Well, because
Because
he's
he can't leave anybody behind.
He's a government
Nobody
assassin.
can know.
You're
Nobody
asking
can know.
questions.
This is super top secret. We, anybody who witnessed this thing has to be rubbed out.
Even
guess
though
I would
he's
buy
very
that.
forthcoming in that.
Rub you out. See? Yeah, sorry.
He's very forthcoming in that scene. He's just like, well, all right. And he gets down and he explains it all.
There's
And
the
he's like,
moment.
And he had to kill him through the fuck. He had to break the glass and then like fucking kill him on the broken windows. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Way to
Jesus
make it look like
Christ.
the
and then,
Oxcom
yeah,
did
rip
it.
his eyes out to make it look like the
Oh,
Oxcom
I
killed
don't
him.
even get that.
No, no.
There was
Because who else is hunting it? He's the only one hunting it. Why does he have to
case.
make it look
well,
like
he's
it
coming up
happened?
with the
Just
idea
in
that it's a
case.
serial killer has been plaguing this
Right,
area.
a psycho
And
killer.
killing like 50 fucking
It's a
people.
grizzly bear.
Whatever. But there's a moment in that scene where it seemed to me like, it was a performance thing. It seemed like Michael Ironside was like all smiley and telling the guy like, yeah, we got this fucking
That's one of his
like
most threatening
genetically
features.
It really,
altered
right.
monster and it's doing all this stuff. And the cops like kind of like, and we got to do this and we got to do, okay. And then he finally gets to the point, the cop, where he's like, you people are fucking crazy. And at that moment, Ironside's face changed. And I'm like, he just decided he's got to kill him. He was kind of going along with
He
the,
was, and you might be right. That's one of his best features as an he he just lay it out, and he seems like
He just
you
always-
seem unarmed.
you don't
want
wanna
to
see him
And then
smiling.
he's just like, no, I'm gonna kill you.
like, yeah.
If you see Michael
He can
Ironside
switch pretty
smile,
well.
he's going to kill you.
And he smiles at him. He's got that like
Really cheeky.
he
fucking,
does. He's
Yeah,
got that like
it's like
Melissa
the-
McCarthy smile.
The
It's
smile
Yeah, he does.
doesn't
It is.
seem like it's attached to his eyes somehow. Like his
You're right.
mouth.
Or he always he can keep his eyes
never
wide.
change. Eyes never change. Mouth.
That's
all
what
over
it
the
is.
place.
You know what this movie made me realize? Fuck Freddy vs. Jason, fuck Dracula, Frankenstein,
Damn.
fuck Wolfman. I want to see Michael Ironside versus John Saxon. Fucking battle of the eyebrows, man.
That might be all right.
I know, right? I mean,
That might be all right. They should at least be like side characters
Or like-
in
or like
a monster movie.
evil twin brothers or something. Like one of them is evil and they're brothers. They have to be, right? Somehow they
Yeah.
look
I like
related.
this. And you think it's Michael Ironside, but it ends up being John
Yeah,
Saxon.
you can't figure out which one it is.
because
Oh,
you
I
can't
would
tell
watch
with those
that.
eyebrows either of theirs.
Every
Sorry,
once
that
in
was
a
a
while.
weird tangent, but it made me think. I was like, dude, John Saxon, Michael Ironside, have they ever done a movie together? Right?
Oh,
we have to
shit.
find out
I don't know.
because, dude, that'd be action packed. But so yeah, but I didn't. Maybe if he like called in for like a cleanup team for that guy, I would have gotten that. Like, oh, cool, he's working.
Sure.
Because even
He
his
found another
partner
one.
starts to question him.
He
That's
does.
like, what the fuck is
Well, I
going
got
on
the
here?
impression it's like the partner somehow has like a clearance level, but doesn't know the full story. Like partner's been flown in, but
Yeah.
Michael Ironside's been part of the project, which for reasons we find out later. But
Yeah.
but that I don't think that's not conveyed very well because when
or not at all.
the first scene where we meet Michael Ironside, he meets this guy on a boat. The guy apparently is the head of Benedine or whatever the
Yeah.
company that created these things. And that guy has to kind of explain to Michael Ironside what's happening. Right? So it's almost like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but I guess he knew like the GH3. Oh, that's the one the Oxcom
Yeah, he
7.
knew everything.
The problem child. Yeah, so
Doesn't
I
he
guess
say like
he
that's
was-
why you called me? Because I already know, or something like
Yeah,
that. He
you're
made
right,
some
yeah.
sort of.
You didn't
okay.
call this guy. You didn't call that guy. You called me.
Yeah.
And that's why I already know.
Yeah.
It's like that guy's cool.
Yeah.
That's why he's Michael Ironside.
Yeah.
You only cast
He
Michael
should be
Ironside.
smoking in this scene.
I mean, I really do love Michael Ironside. I don't know why. He's in horrible movies.
Bad movies.
But fuck it. I mean, hooray for him, dude. Same thing with the bad guy from Reanimator and Guyver 1. As cheesy it is, that guy's one of my favorite villain actors. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
You'd have to...
Oh shit.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Who are those people? They're good
They're
fucking
really good.
80s B-movie villains, dude. And they're great, actually. I know, right? Who is that
It's
guy?
like Dan Hill, but that's not right.
All I can
Something-
think of is lines.
Yeah. Yeah. But Ironside was is his biggest thing Total
Scanners?
Recall? Oh, Scanners.
Oh, no, probably
maybe.
probably
Total Recall
biggest
Scanners.
budget, maybe.
Well, Total Recall is
Starship
basically
Troopers.
playing this fucking character.
Fucking A. Our Starship fucking... He was the teacher.
Yeah.
Awesome!
Rat Check. Rat Check's Roughnecks.
Yeah, Red Check's Roughness, dude. Fucking A, dude. I love Michael Ironside. he does improve any... If they're like, we have no budget, call Michael Ironside.
Call Ironside now.
Call Ironside. Hello? I'm gonna fix your movie.
Oh,
Goddammit.
I just figured out
I'm on my
why they
way.
cast Mark Singer for Watchers 2, because he was in V
That's his
with
name, Mark
Michael
Singer.
Ironside.
Oh, really? Yeah.
There you go. All right, no, that
Yeah,
probably
we were talking about
isn't true.
Watchers 2. How Watchers, the trailer Watchers 2 is like way more
Better
action packed
than this
than
movie,
all of
yeah.
Watchers.
Yeah.
There's shotguns. There's an actual monster.
I mean, there's shotguns in this.
well,
That's
yes.
well, maybe we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I
so in the plot,
the teacher gets killed and the cops come in guns blazing to the school because they got a phone call from the janitor. Is that what the maintenance man?
yeah, he's screaming, dying.
He
getting
heard the
killed by
screaming in the fucking through the vents and just calls the police before finding out what it is.
Yes.
It's like,
Sounds
that
like
guy's
somebody's
not
dying.
nervous.
What? Well, he's on top of shit. Like, you don't expect people to do that, and he's like, "I'm not going up there to check on it. I'm fucking calling the
I
goddamn
ain't
cops."
no hero.
Yeah, that's right. He's like,
Yeah.
"Fucking
I
yeah,
just
I'm gonna
fucking
call."
pop the floors.
But he got killed anyway. Poor fucking bastard.
Yeah, impaled on a fucking coat hook.
And lost his eyes.
Oh.
And
Who was
lost
the-
his eyes.
Suddenly, I'm thinking of
Lost
the.
him. Where'd they go?
I don't know. This is like jumping like crazy, but like we're thinking victims. There's the random Australian
Boyfriend.
handyman.
Oh,
slash
yeah,
boyfriend
he's the
boyfriend.
of the
You
mom.
could say that. Yeah, I'm helping her out, with her plumbing and
Bloody
and
hell.
whatnot. Bloody hell. Right there. What do we do with this brilliant dog, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he go? Like later in the movie,
He was just hanging around. He got killed in
Pissed
it.
her off, I think. Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
And
'Cause
then-
He was
He's
fixing
the-
her dryer, and then
Right.
he died.
Yeah,
Fixing the dryer
Was
goes,
his
look
head
at
in
this.
the-
And
And
he
he was
pushes
very
it
proud
and
of it. Yeah,
explodes.
he's
It's
like,
like,
"Look."
what the fuck? It wasn't doing that before you pushed that.
All right, I'm sorry. That was a completely
No, you're dead on. This movie's so
Character that
fucking. I'm
doesn't
telling you, this
matter.
movie's so forgettable. Like, you guys are reminding me of the murder scenes. Because I'm like, the fuck? Yeah, people
Right.
died in this
Well,
movie?
here's-
The cops died.
Here's a.
I just remember the teacher, like, because I was like, this is
Oh, yeah.
You remember
ridiculous.
the shitty deputy that was ignoring the 911 call?
It was like, if it's bad, he'll call
Yeah.
back.
He'll call
Oh, that was
back.
Oh,
that
yeah.
was a classic moment.
I do hear
Who
that.
was it?
Happens
Yeah,
a
he
lot
was
with
screaming and he
911.
They were screaming, yelling. If it's important, they'll call back.
Yeah, I always hear that, like, yeah.
Did she get killed?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when they said they go in guns blazing. They like run to the school with shotguns
Yeah.
because that's what you do.
Oscar!
And they go and like investigate the boiler room, and they're running all over the place. And she's climbing a ladder, and there's the fucking monster who throws her into the electrical box.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
that's
She gets
what it was.
electrocuted.
Yeah,
Our movie's the only place where if I throw you into an electric box, you go like, oh, I don't think that really happened.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
But why do movie people think it happened?
Because it's more visual. I think
Right.
I
you're
guess,
just
but then
standing
why do
there
they
and
even
going,
think of it, though?
That's
You know what I'm
like
saying?
not
because
Like,
bad.
we
just
can't
leave
afford
it out
effects
there.
to make them like foam at the mouth or something explodes.
Well, why
Yeah.
don't they
It's
just
gonna
like
go,
step on a
"Ah."
rake and have like the sharp end fucking if we want to get like just out of reality here.
Yeah.
You know, the Oxcon can like hand her a fucking dynamite stick and like
That'd be great. Here, hold this for me.
Well, here's a little
Oh my God.
thought experiment for you. There's
Whoa.
3 editors credited on this movie,
Oh,
and
no.
2 directors of photography.
Holy shit.
One who is credited with additional photography.
Yeah.
So clearly they added to this movie. What do you think they?
the running
Well,
through
it
the
was
woods.
also two
the kids?
writers.
Was it
No, just
Jason
the-
Priestley?
Oh shit! I didn't even think
Yeah,
about
we
that.
didn't even get
See?
to that. yeah.
Also, 2 writers. One of them, Paul Haggis,
What?
who took his name off the movie. He
Oh.
wrote a draft.
The writer of Crash.
Yes, yeah, and director of
Not the David
Morrison.
Cronenberg Crash.
No, no, no.
The Oscar winning.
No, the Oscar-winning Crash.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wrote a draft. The other writer credited on this wrote another draft. He's like, take my name off. So it's something. I think it's like something Reed is the credit he
but it
gets on
could be
this,
still
but
very much theirs. Just because they take their names
I
out
mean,
doesn't
right.
mean it's not there.
They changed some major elements probably, but yeah, his
I'm wondering if those
pseudonym is
scenes are in
still
the
on
book.
there.
Is that one of those things? Because at some point, I guess it does feel like the movie does this thing that a lot of 80s horror movies do, where it's like, we have enough plot and story for about 45 minutes.
Oh my god!
That's
Or an
what it felt
hour
like.
max.
I
in
know.
this movie.
It's
And
hard
we
to-
have
I mean, we're
pad it
struggling
out
talking
by
about it.
having murders, right? It's
yeah,
like,
and really,
so
we're
you're
like
gonna
an
have,
hour in this. We're like, oh, what the
yeah,
fuck?
because they do start introducing a character in a scene to kill them off,
Yes.
Mhm.
But
like
this
the
is
teacher
why,
and the
like,
janitor, etc.
And the book never had a kid. The book had like a
Really?
Really?
and yeah, it had a Marine,
What?
a Navy guy who finds
What?
the dog and everything. Yeah, it's different.
crazy.
There's some different.
I
That's
almost listened to
surprising.
the audio book on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
But it seemed like it just dropped right in the middle. I felt like I was missing something, so I didn't listen to it.
I mean,
Hmm.
it might and then might go back to the
I
beginning.
think
of
the
some
mom was was changed. It was originally just the girlfriend.
It might have been,
And it became more the mom.
It was probably
in the movie.
Marine and
yeah.
girlfriend, and that.
I
was
guess
the whole
trying to
aspect
make
of
it more.
But like,
family.
who's hot at the time? Corey Haim. What do we got for him? Watchers.
Watchers, I guess.
That's interesting. Well, this is Concord Pictures. Concord Pictures is headed up by Roger Corman,
Oh yeah,
who's famous for New World
For everything.
Pictures, right? Before that, I keep thinking he was ahead of American International Pictures.
yeah,
but,
AIP for sure.
but that's always James, was it Arkoff and Nicholson?
well, he didn't. I mean, he directed some of them.
He directed
but,
stuff, but
but
was that
he's
his
still,
company?
Yeah, it was still his
He's never
production
like the-
company. He just didn't direct a lot of them. You know, he directed some of the.
He directed a lot of stuff.
Oh, he's directed,
Produced stuff,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, he's known as the king of the cheapie. He famously made a movie in 5 days from script to finished.
I want to say Little Shop of Horrors was written and shot in 2
Or a
days.
week. Written and shot in 2 days.
Yeah,
there
because
you
it
go.
was
Jesus,
because they
really?
already had a set. It's just basically, hey, we got 2 days. Like we finished this picture early. We got 2 days. Think of something. They came up with a Little fucking Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
That's movie making,
Yeah.
my friend.
Yeah.
To me, it really is. That's fucking movie making.
Well, now they
And,
have the 48-hour film challenges and stuff like that.
Sorority House Massacre. That was like a 5-day thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or,
well, I
Sorority
mean,
House 2?
that's basically the hallmark of
what he
Roger
does,
Corman,
yeah,
right?
it's
It's
like, let's just
but
go.
this,
Put it out.
we can't hold that against 80s or 90s era Roger Corman because
No. We
he
hold
did-
it against the actors.
Yeah, well,
Well,
he
and the
had the
directors.
idea of
I
we're
think-
still keeping things moderately.
I think money bought more in the 60s and 70s when Corman was at his. I mean, Corman produced Easy Fucking Rider. Corman,
Yeah.
even
You
all
could do
those.
a lot with a little back then.
Dude, exactly. All those fucking Edgar Allan Poe, Vincent Price movies.
But those are expensive.
But they're
though.
all. But still.
Those were the big.
But you can. But like that's what I'm saying. You can go a lot further with the money back then than Roger Corman in fucking '88 with like monster picture. What's the monster look like? Ah, fuck. Like that's
Yeah,
what we
you
can
wonder how much
afford.
he was really invested because I know the guy who directed this was John Hess or whatever.
John
Yeah.
Hess. Or Wes.
did,
Wes Hess.
When I looked him up, he had done Not of This Earth with I think Tracy Lords, which
Oh yeah.
wasn't that a
That sounds
remake
great.
of a Corman movie from
Not
the
of this
50s?
earth.
I thought at one point in the 90s maybe Roger Corman with the cooperation of Showtime or something
Yeah.
started
You're
remaking
right. Earth versus the Spider.
Yeah.
But they weren't
No
like
Woman
his
or
movie.
something?
I don't think
Or there's stuff that he had produced,
Were
I
they?
guess, back in the
She Creature.
Yeah, She Creature, right.
But I don't
There's a
think
couple
Roger
more.
Corman did Earth versus the Spider.
I don't think he
did
directed them.
Well, but I don't think he even produced Earth versus the Spider. I thought that was way before Corman's time. Even I could be completely
Yeah, I
fucking
could
wrong.
be
I've only
wrong.
seen Earth versus the Spider twice.
Mm.
I'm surprised I seen it that much. It's a hard movie. But I tried to watch the Showtime remake, and it was like a super.
Yeah, that's the one I remember. The Showtime remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember they did these exploitation things where they kind of gave a little bit more of a budget to something that was done, really cheaply in the 1950s.
Yeah.
John Hess also did Alligator 2: The Mutation.
Holy
Which,
shit.
okay, now I haven't seen this movie in 100 years, but I remembered liking it.
You saw Alligator 1 or 2?
Both of them.
Oh, fuck! Well, did it Toby, that's Eaten Alive.
No, it was, who did Cujo did Alligator? Louis Teague?
Yeah.
Louis Teague.
I,
Did Alligator, which is a pretty
yeah,
good movie.
what?
But Alligator 2 was better than I thought it was going to be. It was better than Watchers, I'm going to say right
Holy
now.
shit. Well, Watchers is a
You
concept.
probably got to see a lot of alligator. I'm going to guess.
Maybe.
I mean, really, what? I mean, fuck. I mean, Corey Haim and his mom run around. I mean,
What lessons does he learn in the course of this movie?
fuck.
Corey Haim. Well, he learns to be a man
This is my dad.
because in the 80s, because he is the Spielberg era kid where he has no father, he's just got a mother.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he learns at some point that he has to step up and move out of adolescence and into adulthood, and that is marked in this movie, I think, through the acquisition of his father's hunting rifle.
Oh, shit.
Because in the 80s, kids could brandish, firearms, and that was like,
Yeah, it was
yeah,
alright.
boss.
It was awesome.
He's got a gun, and he's like my age.
Not anymore.
Pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't do that anymore. Can't have kids running around with guns. But back then, it was like, that
Can't
was
even point
somehow,
your finger like a gun.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
yeah, the
You'll
responsibility of carrying the firearm and defending, I guess, your women against the
That's
monster.
what men are biologically created to do. Protect eggs, goddammit. We protect the eggs. And but I mean, once again though, you got Corey Haim with a rifle and a monster, and Corey Haim wins. It's like, oh boy.
I think that's part of the thing that I didn't understand, or I get why they wanted you to do it.
Well, because he kind of did Predator, right?
He gets out to a cabin, right?
Well,
Corey Haim goes off to a cabin, his dad's cabin, of course, because he's inheriting the mantle.
Sure.
But
I do like that he drives without a driver's license. That's kick-ass 80s kid.
See? Yeah.
So you would say he doesn't have a license to drive?
But he has a heart-to-heart conversation with the dog at some point where the dog spells out on a Scrabble board. I know this sounds ridiculous.
And it
Oh,
is.
Go with me on this.
it's beautiful.
But the dog,
It would read good.
Let's go to the page.
the dog spells out on a Scrabble board something like,
Uh-oh.
I danger you, I stay, you die. And Corey Haim's like, no, Buster, or fur face.
Fart face.
No, fart face. You should stay.
Yeah, it's like, we're in this together. And I'm sitting there going like, okay, I get we're supposed to have the attachment between this boy and this
It's
dog.
a boy and his dog.
That you're like, they're inseparable. But I can't help but sitting there going like, dude, this is a dog that you just picked up.
But he's
right?
super smart.
He's super smart. He can kind of take care of himself. And you are in danger. Like, this thing has killed
You know why?
everything
I'm
else that
sorry.
he's come in contact with. Like, why are you suddenly now like,
You
I
know
gotta
why
protect this
a dog is man's best friend? He's the only male friend that might not fuck your girlfriend. I'm sorry. That's like the God's honest truth. He is your hunting pal.
Be there for you for whenever you can talk to him.
Yeah, he don't even give a shit. You can kick him in the face and he'll be like, yeah. Oh, man loves dogs, dude. We love dogs.
But did we miss a scene?
I don't know.
or
I've
was
seen some
there a
videos
scene-
where they'll fuck your girlfriend. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god.
Sean, where
We
the
gotta
hell are
edit
you
this.
hanging out? So on
I've
what
heard things.
dark corners of the internet? But I guess we're missing a scene where like they
I can't
had
believe I
like
didn't bring that up.
a bonding
That's-
moment. You know, like between the boy and his dog. There needed to be some kind of
I mean, do I
something-
like it? Like every one of those scenes would be great without the score. Not the Doogie Howser.
I was like, that's the Doogie Howser
Right,
theme
you
song.
fade in. That's like you're at the house, fade into the living room. Yeah,
You're a computer.
oh, it
But
really is.
I do like those scenes because I mean, but yeah, I mean, I guess what. I mean, we don't see any. Well, no, we do see male friends. We see Jason Priestley,
Jason Priestley,
his
and
other stony buddy,
Piggy.
and like
Piggy.
a 13-year-old, like a little chubby 13-year-old.
It's Piggy.
with. Yeah,
and
they
it does
kind of
look like, and it does kind of look like Piggy.
Move it.
yeah.
He does
Like,
look
did
like
that kid have a real name that they like? I get that they would
Just
call
Piggy,
him a,
man. It's
a
the
nickname,
80s,
but
dude.
come on.
We can totally be like, hey, Chubbs.
Over
you know,
and
everything's
over
about like.
over again.
Wait, what was he? Yeah, he was fat, and he was whatchamacallit, it's like Pat. He was androgynous
Pat.
a little bit. Yeah.
He looked
Yeah.
like the kid what's in the Monster Squad. That's what I kept like.
In the Monster Squad?
Yeah, what the Wolfman got
Wolfman's
nards kid.
got
Oh,
nards.
I don't know. What do you call him? Chub? Cookie? What?
I think he was he Chubb? I think
Cookie,
he was. Oh my
steak.
god, yeah, something like that.
It's got to be something like that.
Yeah.
Fucking 80s.
Yeah, but those kids get murdered. Okay, so yeah,
Those
okay,
kids get
so
murdered.
so basically,
Let's gloss over that. Those kids get murdered.
Because there's
the
those
cops,
scenes.
or not the
Priestley.
cops, the agents have been keeping the girlfriend whose dad was killed by the monster.
Yeah.
She witnesses.
Thank
They've
you.
been
Fucking
drugging her,
Lala.
and they kept her in a secure facility. Which also, I love that scene too. Like
Oh, yeah.
Corey Haim and his mom go to the hospital, and one of the agents is waiting outside a door, and like you can't go in there. Corey Haim doesn't care about authority. He busts in, and the girl's not there. Like, where is she? She's at another authority or another facility, and I'm like, so
fuck
this
are you
guy
doing here?
has been. There's two guys
Yeah.
look dedicated to finding this creature, and one of them
Sitting
is
there doing
camping
nothing.
out all day long in front of a hospital room,
You could put a guard there.
waiting for somebody to show up. So there'd be
I don't
like
think
some
they wanted to
extension
pay
of-
another actor. They just
Yeah.
like, let's just have that guy.
Yeah, it was
No, what's
very
e-
weird.
Even better is later on when they actually go to the place where they're holding her, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Why do you think this is safer than a hospital?
Why is she drugged?
There's iron bars here. we're around.
Well, no, I do like that when Michael Patton's like, we're the government. You have nothing to fear from us. Don't you? We're the good guys.
We're your government.
Which I do love that. I'm like, yeah, motherfuckers. Because that's why I like that Corey Haim, because that was the spirit of the 80s. To be like, fuck you, authority. Where's my girlfriend?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
you had a little bit of the outlaw.
That's what a white knight guy does, you know? Yeah.
The outlaw, because that's the character I think that still people would respond to, but they just don't know it. It harkens back to, like, I guess the John Wayne or like a Western character who just, outlaw, doesn't care about the
he's
law.
out to do the right thing.
Right, yeah. Right thing trumps
law. It
Yeah.
trumps fucking state,
Yeah.
Yes.
I just watched Cobra the other day.
Oh,
okay,
no.
but anyway.
Get out of your head. No Cobra.
Here's a flash fact. You know why Sylvester Stallone did Cobra? Is because he couldn't do the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. That's why he did Cobra.
I think they said he wrote a bunch of stuff. Was it for Punisher? He wrote a bunch of. Oh, wait.
He's like,
God, maybe it was.
I could do this Punisher. I totally.
The punishment is.
No. They said it was. I got it now. It was
Guilty must be
Beverly Hills
punished.
Cop.
Oh, sorry.
Beverly Hills Cop. Little factoid.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently,
I am the law.
Stallone read Beverly Hills Cop, wanted to change it, make it a lot more serious. He rewrote it. Then they said, no, this isn't what we're doing. And they went the Eddie Murphy way. Well, the ideas that he had come up with for that, he incorporated into Cobra.
Crazy.
Fucking weird. Yeah.
Because if you listen to the Punisher audio commentary, they say the reason
Is there commentary on that movie?
Pretty fucking sure. I'm pretty sure I didn't pull this out of my ass. I didn't make this story up. but at least like the producers or whomever of Punisher, they claim that Sylvester Stallone wanted to be the Punisher, and that's why he did Cobra. But
to like prove that like I can be the Punisher,
or just whatever. Yeah, he's just like, I'll do it anyway. I don't care.
And the original version of Cobra was apparently like 2.5 hours long.
We're talking about Cobra now.
Well, this is like a flash. Yeah, this is what it tells us about
Watchers.
All right, so
I hate you.
making us talk about better movies. God,
well, I don't know about better.
Well, I would say more entertaining. I've only seen Cobra once, but we're talking about it again.
He eats pizza with a pair of scissors. It's fantastic.
Oh my god!
Whoa.
So at least
and you don't fuck with his parking space.
So next week, Cobra, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, no.
Crime's a
please. God
disease.
damn it.
He's the cure.
So So
they're in a cabin.
Yes. So doesn't Corey Haim like Predator up the place, right? I mean, that's what every 80s like.
Oh yeah,
you
it's
get a
the Nightmare on Elm
wire
Street
together.
and
set straps.
Every movie.
This is what we're gonna do, Tommy boy. We're gonna go and like rig the place up with tripwires and explosives.
Which is
I thought
funny,
C4, but
what,
motion detectors.
That's what part 3 ended up being. Part 3, Watchers 3 is just a straight
What you've
Predator.
Seen Watchers?
I know. I scrolled through it earlier today because I wasn't going to watch it. But it's almost a straight Predator.
You ever seen the
ripoff.
cover? It's got a toy on the cover with ooze
eyes
on
and
it.
smiling eyes and the ooze.
Well, there's like
coming out.
ooze on it. I was
the-
just like, that's fucking
the
like
cover.
Ninja Turtles ooze.
I had forgotten all about it. And I saw the cover. I'm like, oh, that's that fucking movie.
I can make this.
Because the cover just brought back all the memories.
Oh,
But
yeah,
no, it's
dude.
a straight Predator ripoff. There's Predator vision in it and shit.
Dude,
They're in the
Carnosaur.
jungle. There's it's horrible.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, I looked from the trailer of Watchers 2. They add we say it's Predator vision, but it's kind of like Wolfen vision. If you
But
remember
they don't
Wolfen.
do that in this
Predator
movie.
No, in this movie,
Let's talk about
right.
this dumb fucking movie.
Yeah.
We're talking about the series. fucking
We will
Predator
never come back
movie.
to Watchers.
Oh
We're
yeah,
covering
you're
the breadth of the
goddamn right.
series.
We'll never come back.
We will never come back to
Hopefully,
Watchers.
if I have anything to do with it, I'll be
Critters
sick.
3 before Watchers.
No,
anyway.
never Critters 3.
Wait. Did
it's
we
coming.
we didn't mention why Sean chose this movie? Because
yeah.
of
Can we
a
talk about
intense
that?
personal experience with this movie.
The cover.
I'm bad at what age I saw movies. I'm just gonna put that out there for
Let's
you
just-
guys that I told this earlier to. I'm trying to like, well, how old was I when I watched this movie? Was I 15? And then I'm just thinking about like,
You've
I
seen
could.
this previously?
No. Yes, I have once. I've since discovered I've seen it once, and I take back the being 15 part of it because wow, I must have been a sensitive 15-year-old to have had this movie affect me. I must have been like, because this movie came out in '88. I was born in '86. I had to have seen this in
Oh fuck! Well, yeah. I
90
guess
or,
if you're a
90
2
or
or 3
early
year old.
90s because For some reason, I remember this being scary.
The
Don't ask
dog,
me
like,
why.
brought you in.
Don't ask me why. But it's like there's a monster and a dog, and maybe I just remember the cover art for this. I'm like, that looks scary, and that's it.
Yeah.
Because wow,
Sounds like I remember this movie kind of like freaking me out. We're sitting there going like, all right.
I had to have been 6.
Like every 10 minutes. Which part is the part that scared you?
What scared you, Sean?
Where's the monster?
Was it very
If you're
terrifying
gonna
dog?
have a
Was it
fucking
Corey
monster
Haim's
movie.
hair? Why were you scared, Sean?
Well, this is a what Colin was about to say is this is a philosophy we've been discussing a lot about, like whether to see the monster or not see the monster. And like some movies that even have a good monster will still go this route.
Oh, but
But you know when you're watching a movie,
But here's the
this
thing:
long.
if you have a monster like the alien, right? When you show it for a very short period of time, there's something that still gets through that flash that was on screen into your
No.
brain,
But this
and
tried
you go
it.
like, "I saw
Like, what was that?
something
A
really
jackal?
cool." Yeah, what was it? But it looked really cool and it looked really scary.
It's a
In this
jackrabbit.
movie, you see something and you're like, dude, that's a bad suit," and
They
they're
don't wanna show
trying to
that.
hide it
because it is
from you.
mostly legs and arms.
Legs and
It
arms,
is
and
like-
they hide it behind fire and leaves a lot. Like
Yeah.
that happens a lot in the movie.
This is one of those movies
you
that leaves
never
me-
get a really
Never.
good look
Yeah.
at this thing.
Even at the end, you're just like,
Yeah, at the point when it's like dead or dying against the tree, they show it full screen. You see its face. I mean, the whole movie.
But it's like
you
2
finally
seconds.
can see. Yeah.
Oh,
and
it's
they
not
cut
even
away
2
from there
fucking
because it's
seconds,
like
man. It's
we
gotta be
can't put
38
this on.
frames.
it's like
Yeah,
curls
don't
its
study
lip
this.
and it's done.
Yeah.
He like there's a little lip movement. That's
Yeah.
what I'm like, dude. There's animatronics. This must have been a dummy from Creepshow or something like that.
Something.
Like a
Oh, I'm sure somebody bought it, and once they got it, they're like, "Fuck, dude,
Like,
that's
we
as
can't-
good as you can. You're fired, and we don't have any money to hire anybody else, so
fire.
we're
It's
just
like,
gonna
well, no, we need
we're
you
gonna
to
cut
get the
around
guy in
it.
the suit.
Cut around
Like,
it.
I guess you'll
Yeah.
still be around.
hire 2 more editors. We'll just cut her out. We'll figure out a way to make these
Shoot
scenes
more
work.
like run in the woods. Run in
Yep.
the woods.
That's
run in the
probably
woods.
maybe that was it. They
Oh,
said,
that's what I was
you know
thinking.
what? We need point of view cam.
We need
Probably.
to just like
we
and
need more
like,
monster vision within the woods.
and we just
everything.
need like a good looking hand just to be like "Arr!" and like go in the scene real quickly.
Was it a good looking hand?
No.
We don't see it for very long.
No,
it
it
just
wasn't. But you
it's
bought it.
furry, and
There's
it reaches
better
in.
suit acting in like the sequel because in that you get at least the guy in the suit going like
Well, in the
and
goddamn
that fake running monster running that I love so much. They just
in
you
the
get a lot of that.
trailer, you see more of a monster
For
than
which? This?
2.
Oh, okay,
Over 2.
In Watchers 2, the trailer, you see more of a monster than you do in this whole movie.
I didn't see much of
Yes.
a monster.
Gotta watch it
In
close.
this movie?
The
Trailer.
trailer for the second one.
Oh.
You gotta
Well,
watch
there's
it.
a lot more monsters.
Watch it at home
He-
when you're in your element.
He gets
when you
shot
can
with a
pay
shotgun
attention.
and he sparks. Like he shoots him and he goes.
Yeah. Well, is it a surprise? I'm going
Mark
to give
Hamill.
this
I was
away.
gonna say that.
Oh, that's
Fourth.
Mark
Yeah,
Hamill's in the
let's-
fourth
yeah,
one.
let's
God
not
damn
forget to make our way there.
All right, but
Well,
I'm going to
let's-
give away a giant, shocking surprise.
Let's
in
go to
this
the big
movie.
reveal because
Yep. The big
Oh,
reveal
shit.
is that
Sorry.
Michael Ironside actually is the 3rd experiment.
which is I'm like, what? So there's only 3 there? Like I don't get. Well, you need a whole facility for 3 things. Like you couldn't have just been. I'm the 3rd. Well,
no, they're
you
the
should be
3
like,
that got out because it exploded.
Well, but you
But-
think he
I
got
don't know.
out?
It always said that each of them
Obviously,
was
'cause
He
made
wasn't
with
there
some,
when it exploded.
But what if
some
he convinced-
human material. I'm assuming he is the human material that
Well, he
connects
was
them
bred
all.
apparently because the audience is going like he's the 3rd experiment. What the fuck are you talking about? He's a genetically engineered psychopath.
Yes.
He has
Yeah.
no human
No
emotion,
emotions.
so he has no conscience, and
Mhm.
he's the ultimate killing machine. He says.
Which I don't
He
know
says
if you
it
need
himself,
a
he's the ultimate killing
biological experiment to produce that.
I don't think you necessarily do.
You know,
Yeah.
No.
It really does seem like we need a twist at this point. What do
Yeah,
we do?
it did
It's like,
really.
And
Yeah.
we need to get rid of the black partner. What's going on?
Yeah,
So,
because
like,
we got to hone this down to like
Yeah, or
just
we got no
the,
monster.
Ironside
we
can
need
pull this off.
The Corey Haim fight at the end needs to be with Michael Ironside. That's what it is. We have no monster. Michael Ironside is the villain at the end.
that is
Yeah,
the
'cause
best
I
part.
don't remember Corey. I just watched this movie, but I really
know.
don't have a great memory of Corey Haim fighting the monster. I do remember him
shoots it with a gun.
blowing its head off once it's
No.
like
No,
You can't
it's
even.
limped
That
against
sounded
the
cool,
tree.
Colin. That sounded cool.
yeah.
Blowing
You're
his head off
building it
sounded
up.
like you said that built too much of a picture.
He shot him in like the foot.
Well, first
And they cut
he's
away.
like, oh, he's just a little animal.
Yeah, but wait. That's what I'm saying. But what got us to there?
I don't
There
know.
was
He
the
like
fight
hurts
at
himself.
The cabin.
Yeah,
They're like they're like all in the cabin, and they see the light go off, and these people are coming. Which Ironside,
light thing,
yeah,
yeah.
Ironside is partner and the mother and
Why
the
did this
girlfriend
dog
pull
help?
up. Right.
The dog
Dog's so
came.
fucking
The dog
smart.
helped
Dog jumped out the
against
window and attacked
Michael
Ironside.
Ironside. Yeah.
And then so Corey Haim was like get the knife and
Because if
stab
the
him in the
dog,
neck.
if the dog fought the creature, you'd have to see the creature. I get it.
That more so, yes.
I get it. Goddamn.
Then the mom, like he pulled the knife out, then the mom shot Michael Ironside to finish him off.
Mm-hmm.
And then the monster comes out and attacks.
Yeah.
And
You
the
remember
dog.
this?
What?
And
Yeah.
and the
Wait,
dog
I
and him,
thought
the dog
Michael
and him do
Ironside-
fight, and the monster throws the dog onto the car.
And it
Yeah,
injures the dog.
exactly.
They got to get him.
But
to
it's
fuck.
very like really quick and
Yeah.
close cutting.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Like
he gets-
close camera shots, really
And
quick
he
cutting.
gets at least a couple shots in because that's when
It
it runs
feels like
off. It runs off injured.
You're right. Or,
Yeah.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
there's a couple shots. He's like, shoot it, no, have the dog, but he shoots it anyway.
Yeah.
And then it runs off, and then he chases him through the woods.
And then this is
And
where
then
I
it
came back
collapses.
in.
And
And
that's-
I remember
yeah,
him
this is
being
where you.
collapsed
Yeah, because I
against
saw
the
your
tree.
head tilting back as the movie was going.
I got a
spasms. Yeah, I
And then
get those too.
and then
I
that's
get
the
those too in
part-
really boring movies.
And that's the part that Travis was talking about, where he sees it, and now all of a sudden it's just like an injured animal to him, and he feels bad for
Yeah,
it.
it's like,
It's like, oh, it's sad. You killed a lot of
So he
people,
walks
but you're
away for a second.
sweet.
and it's
Like,
like,
yeah.
and
And then he shoots it in the face.
Yeah.
Done.
I'm supposedly.
Set up for a sequel.
Well,
I mean, it does
no,
happen.
But
But
Keep the
made
dog
one.
at least.
well, the sequel is it's the same story. It's like the first one never happened.
Except they actually have the Marine.
Funny how
Except they
that
From the
actually,
novel.
yeah, exactly. They actually have the Marine from the novel. The second one, and it's widely looked at as like a closer adaptation of the book than this one was.
which I heard Howling 2 is a closer adaptation of the book
No,
than Howling 1.
Howling 4.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah,
Interesting. When they
and
do
there's
that.
there's a monster. And
Well,
a
but that's
dog.
movie making,
Monster
right?
dog,
They're like,
third
we'll
one-
take this concept and
Third one's the Predator ripoff, still has the monster and the dog, though it looks
'Cause
more
what are you gonna do
Predator-ish.
after
And they're in
that,
the
right?
woods, and there's like the bow and arrow.
What's a
and
better Predator
everything.
ripoff?
Oh.
Watchers 3 or Dog Soldiers?
Sure.
I've never finished Dog Soldiers.
No idea.
Yeah.
Watch
Oh
as
man,
far as
where
Mark
the
Hamill.
fuck are you guys? Like Dog
I just
Soldiers,
don't like. I don't want to see
Well, I
like
haven't seen
commandos
Watchers
against
3.
werewolves. I don't know. I'm not interested. I
It's
want to see
funny.
aliens with werewolves.
It's
Is
funny.
it funny? Coming from you, that scares me. You, the man that doesn't like comedy.
There's a guy whose name is Spoon,
Oh my
and the whole
God.
way through the movie is like Sergeant Spoon or
Guys.
whatever the fuck. Also, when he gets killed,
You know
a
what?
guy can go, where's Spoon? There is no Spoon. The whole
Oh my
fucking
God.
way it was a setup for that one joke. It's amazing.
You know what?
Amazing.
We don't want to talk about Watchers anymore, so let's wrap it up.
All right,
Or
yeah, we
Igor.
probably should.
Igor.
Wait,
Let's
yeah,
try-
Igor.
Let's
Igor!
There he is.
Masters, the mail. I've got the mail. So many letters. Our followers are rising.
Okay, so thank you, Igor. And again, we acknowledge that there's a bunch of you guys out there liking us on Facebook, but if you want to get read on the air and actually become part of the Freak Show family, you really do have to write in. So
Oh, please
this
do.
week, Bobette Georgie,
Bobette.
well,
Oh,
just
I love
basically,
Bobette.
she, and thank you for writing in.
Thank you,
She
Bobette.
wrote in and said that Watchers sounds bizarre, but she hasn't ever seen it. Susan Darko writes in, the book was amazing.
Yeah.
I absolutely detest the fact that the movie turned the main human character into a teenager.
Yeah.
The book was much better. Interesting. And then via
surprised.
Twitter,
The Twitchers.
via Twitter,
Tweeters.
G Money writes to us.
G-Money.
And he says, hey guys, long time no write, but I've been listening. Oh, thank you very much.
Good. Thank you.
Yay.
Watchers is one of my favorite creature features. I remember watching these and the sequels on Sci-Fi. Nothing better to remedy my sore body from high school football games than to wake up and turn Sci-Fi on to catch one of these masterpieces. He says, I've seen them all, boys, from Dean Cain and Boa to Guilty Pleasure
Boa.
Hooper's Crocodile. But this one is good, with the
Bravo,
one with
sir.
Mark Hamill being second best.
Oh,
Michael
damn. He's seen
Ironside.
them
Yeah, he's seen
all.
them all. He says he's seen them all.
Bravo.
I hope
Michael-
this episode didn't depress you.
Yeah.
Like, they're idiots. Idiots. They don't understand.
He basically goes on to say he loves all these Sci-Fi Channel movies because he never needed a huge TV to enjoy them, and you don't need
Never.
darkness to amplify the scares to be found because there are none.
Oh, bravo.
Oh, there are some. There are some scares.
legit.
Thank you, G Money.
Yeah, thank you for writing it.
Yeah. Thanks, G Money.
All right, so that leads us to
Okay.
wrap-ups, and the wrap-ups begin tonight with Travis.
Ah,
What'd
man,
you think of Watchers?
I love the concept of this. Even though everybody's like, the fucking book, and I kind of like boy with dogs movies. I don't know why. There's a little part of me that like I love people with dog movies.
Did you have a dog when you were a little boy?
Like too many of them. That's why I probably like really hold it. Like I was like, I've never had a family dog. I've had like 4 of them. You know, I always have them for like 3 or 4 years or something. Never had that long lasting friendship.
Oh.
I know, right? But especially one that is psychically linked to a monster. And I mean, I dig the concept. They just did nothing with it. That I'm sure the book does. Maybe.
Sure. I mean, if it was
It's
popular
gotta
enough
be.
to be made into a movie.
Yeah, but you know, really
I know that
popular
doesn't-
enough to be made into a movie.
Maybe it doesn't take much, but I'm sure it was like there was something more to the book.
But back in those days, they were, I mean, they were buying up horror novels the same way they buy up comic book properties nowadays. They ain't give a fuck,
True.
you know? That's why the first 2 Clive Barker movies are what they are, you know? That's why Clive Barker's like, I'll make my own goddamn movie. Hellraiser.
Yeah, because we're talking about transmutations and Rawhead Rex there. Not Hellraiser and Lord of Illusion.
When does
Yeah.
Rawhead Rex get brought into this? Come
Dude,
on.
it's like, I mean...
Is it on the list?
But the last time I watched Rawhead Rex, I'm like, oh, man, the magic is gone. Like, I was a child when I saw Rawhead Rex.
I was Googling image of this movie and Rawhead Rex popped up randomly. I'm like,
And maybe dude, that's why I'm like, fuck this movie, dude, because we got shitty movies like Rawhead Rex and Monster in the Closet, but you see the fucking monster. I'm sorry, you see the monster. As shitty as they are, you at least see the monster.
that's not an admission of guilt to anybody who doesn't like Monster in the Closet. So you just shut your mouth.
Love Monster in the Closet. It's a funny movie.
It's very good.
Very funny.
Very good.
And there's a monster.
The monster falls in love with him when he takes the glasses
It's
off.
great.
I'm just saying.
It's great.
I'm just saying.
Just like every other woman
Oh,
in
yeah,
the movie.
I saw it.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
So good. Okay.
So, but that's my flaw with this fucking movie. It's like there's no monster in this monster movie. There's a werewolf glove.
Yeah.
There's Michael Ironside. There's like a vague. I like how they're like whoever did it must have been an expert at blowing things up.
Yeah.
And that's it. They never get back to it. Like I was thinking, was it,
Sabotage the place.
I was
We
thinking
never
it was
find that
Michael
out.
Ironside,
Right,
right?
yeah,
Or something
probably
like that.
was, right?
Probably.
That's
Yeah.
like what?
He's
Maybe
a psy-
I
he's
wonder
a
if
psycho.
is the Michael Ironside character in the book? I don't know. We'll have to read the book.
I don't know.
Susan, help us out.
Shows up
Please
again.
help.
Shows up again in 4, but though I think it's kind of a
What?
soft. I think it's kind of a soft reboot of the entire thing.
Oh yeah,
The Mark Hamill one. I'm pretty sure
crazy.
because Lem Johnson is in it again.
So yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, I wouldn't watch it again. I don't recommend it. It did nothing. I don't even find those like nuggets of gold that I usually talk about when I pan for anything good in a horror-related supernatural thriller or whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't want to.
Don't belabor the point.
I don't want G Money to hate me, so I'm moving on.
Well, the thing that depresses me about this movie, like, you know, I watch these horror movies and I kind of, try to, while you're watching them, like, separate the performance from the writing and all this other stuff. And
Budget.
And yeah, and I've written horror movies, none that have been produced, not a professional screenwriter, but I have written stuff, and I'm like, I could write this movie, and it's a depressing
that
thought.
hard, yeah.
No, because
I don't
I'm
think
like,
you write this movie, you shoot this movie.
no, but
You know
I
what
think
mean?
like
You-
this is probably where my like the. I don't know, I wouldn't say like the top, but like this is like the skill level that I have. I could probably write.
We can make this.
This
movie.
is
no,
yeah,
we
this
don't
is-
not
this
even
is-
write
becomes
it.
realistic.
We can make this.
To make it.
Just
Yeah.
give me a hairy glove and we'll
Yeah.
fucking be in the woods shooting
Right.
Watchers 7 or whatever.
Right. Come November 15th, we go to the Halloween stores, get all the clearance shit,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
we make this movie.
They did have 2 awesome explosions that I don't know
They
if we
did.
could pull off, but that's about. There's a car exploded and a building.
Yeah,
There was a
that's-
fire.
That's
at
got to
the
be
end
all
of
the
yeah,
budget.
that's the budget.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we didn't
it's
use stock. I don't know.
Yeah, fine.
it's a movie. I mean, we watch bad movies on this show all the time, but like the ones that I think that I tend to like are the ones that are so bad that they're accidentally funny, or they're bad, but there's these nuggets of gold, like Travis said, where it's actually like that's a good idea. And maybe just didn't have the
Like Ninja
resources
3.
to actually pull it off.
I like this.
Well, that
concept.
was on the so bad it was funny. It was back to the thing, but
Good
Last Dance with Ninjas.
yeah,
Oh.
definitely recommend it. Go back, listen to our Ninja 3 episode.
Indeed.
But this one is like it's not like an incompetently made movie. It's just really fucking cheap. So cheap that it robs you of the exploitation elements. It's like, if I'm here, you got to give me, to maintain my interest, and maybe it says something about me, but it's like, I got to have a monster. I got to be able to see it. And I think, like I discerned earlier before, between like the alien glimpses of the alien monster and this, where it's like, we don't fucking have a monster, so we're going to make one up in the editing room. There's a difference, and this sucks. There's no monster in this movie. Number 2, there's very little gore or violence in this movie. And, it's like, this is a horror film where a monster's going around ripping people up and tearing their eyes out, and we don't see any of this, and it all happens off screen, and except toward the end, there's a headless body, and it's just not exploitive enough, and there's no like sex and nudity too, which also helps, but it's like, okay,
a rated R movie.
In a rated R, there's not even any swearing. I know you said there's a guy who says fuck.
There's one.
And I'm like, it was so casual, I didn't even catch it. It's like
he wasn't even on screen to say it.
Yeah,
it was some guy in the back.
Didn't the one cop say it at the end too? I think there was a second fuck.
See, they're so casual,
not memorable.
They didn't even catch
it.
And I think that's the problem with this movie. It is not memorable at all. There aren't those moments that, like, I saw this movie when it came out on video, and tonight I was telling Sean, I'm like, I know I saw it, but I remember nothing, and now I know why. Because there is nothing to remember about this movie. It's gonna flush right out of your brain right after you see it. So, and is that the story or just how it's done? I can't tell the difference, but I would definitely say just avoid it. It's not like it's like a horribly made movie. It's just there's nothing. It's an empty shell. There's nothing really inside it, and it's forgettable. So I'm gonna say pass over watchers. Holly.
Well, I understand why Sean had the heartfelt, I don't know, memory of this movie. Because I feel like people in our generation, we have that with pretty much any Corey Haim movie. Like, we just remember our childhood.
It's a big part.
And
they're horrifying.
And I'm hoping that's why you liked it. I don't know.
Well, when I was a kid, Garbage Pail Kids scared me. So when you're a child, what is scary is your imagination.
Yeah.
It's what you're adding to the movie.
It's okay. My brother was scared of the painting from Ghostbusters too.
It's Vigo.
It's Vigo.
Like the buzzing of flies.
Yeah, but that's supposed to be scary. Like, when you look at that stuff is designed to be scary, but it doesn't work on you because you're too sophisticated. You're old enough. But for a child, that does, like, it affects them the way that it was.
No way. I was like 4. I loved that movie.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's scary. Scary works better when you're young. You grow out of being scared by stuff.
So, I feel like it was. I mean, maybe it had something to do with the multiple editors and the multiple writers, but I feel like the whole like boy becoming a man thing was a separate movie. Like, I feel like that didn't come into play at all as far as like with the experiments and it didn't work for me. Like,
I could have been adding that too. I don't know if that was actually there.
I agree with you.
I'm trying to grab a theme. Like,
because I kept telling you.
I absolutely agree with you though, because I feel like the whole like he's showing the dog his dad's jacket. He showed him the picture, and then he goes to his cabin, and he's using all the tactics that his father taught him with hunting and tracking, and it was definitely the boy becoming a man, passing the mantle thing. But I don't think it fit. Like, I don't think it just seemed really out of place. So I felt like just the whole, I don't know, with like the pan flutes and the heartwarming moments, like it just didn't fit.
In this movie.
There was a lot of pan flutes. It didn't fit. And
I'm sorry. I know this is your wrap up. Let me just interject one
Go
thing.
ahead.
But did we ever, like, was there ever a payoff to the idea that the monster and the like, it's explicitly stated that the monster and the dog are like brothers,
basically.
It's like, because were they trying to do a theme with, like, they're warring brothers, basically, if you can see them as something other than a dog and a monster, right? You've got, like, the kid trying to become his dad, and you've got two brothers fighting. It's like, those are two completely different themes, and they don't mesh.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
A story has to, make B story stronger, and they're like,
exactly.
these two things
totally separate.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
See, we're in sync. We got this. I was really bothered because I felt like I was dreading the monster reveal as much as I was hoping for it. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
you get to that point, you're just like,
oh, this is gonna be terrible. I want it
but
to
I don't know if
happen.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah, and I was just like, that to me, that's just the making of a horrible monster movie. You shouldn't have that torn feeling. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go hard pass on Watchers. No go.
This should have been a monster movie. It was not. My memory of this movie going to it was that I had seen it. But I have no memory of what I saw apparently because watching it tonight, I'm just like, I remember like vaguely bits and pieces of this, but I remember it being like something completely different.
What's the
like
scene that creeped you out?
Yeah. What
Maybe he
was
saw
it?
Watchers 2. Maybe if he sees Watchers 2 again, he'll be like, that's it.
This is it.
This is it, guys.
It may have been. I think. I may have been so young in watching this movie that just the idea of a monster cycling linked to a dog running around in the woods built itself up in my mind.
And you love dogs.
That's what I remember.
It's going to kill that dog.
Because nothing in
what
this
a
movie.
fucking monster.
Looking back, I'm like, I can't remember any part of this movie that made me feel like I would be apprehensive about it. But I think, like, the idea, because I saw it so young, the idea grew in my mind. I'm just like, Watchers, of course, because I don't know why. It was like, it was a thing.
It was not a thing.
It was,
Not
no,
a
but
thing. It wasn't a thing even then.
It was on the shelves
in my
at the video
childhood.
store.
Maybe it may have been down to like that's it.
I mean,
like
it
the
had to
simplicity
be.
of the idea and seeing like because even like I said, I looked back earlier and I saw like the covers for the movies and Watchers 3 and like that's the stuff that sticks out. Like maybe just seeing those put an idea in my head and that's what I've gone with for the past 30 years. Maybe that's it, and I think that's it because wow. I mean, it should have been a monster movie. I mean, like you talked about, like the exploitation elements that this movie should have had to be memorable. It did not have at all. I mean, I guess the dog and the boy and his dog story. You know, I think Cory Haim ruins that element of the movie for me. Only because, like you said, I think he's too old.
He's just too old.
He's just too old for that part.
He's the right actor. He's just too old.
But I mean, the movie's rated R. It should have had way more monster.
Fuck you, fuckface.
Way more cursing.
Silver Bullet era.
Yes.
Corey Haim would have been
Better. It should have had more gore, more monster, and yeah, it's just I had something built up in my head, and boy, did I get brought down with watching this movie. So I do not recommend this movie. I will never watch this again.
Read the back of the box.
That's all you
Get
need.
a better
That's
movie
all you
than
need.
mine.
Read it to your children and then keep it away
a
from
dog?
them.
A monster?
That idea, that element, can just let it grow in someone's mind, but just keep them away from the movies.
Maybe check out the book.
I'm
go for the
actually
book.
interested in the book. I do want to read the book.
It sounds like it'd be more
I
interesting.
do think the link between the monster and the dog would be interesting
Better.
in a book, especially because you'll go into the dog's mind. If the dog's smart, it's going to be like reading a human. Basically.
Definitely a missed
Right.
opportunity there.
Yes.
Yeah.
and you get why it's carving the eyes out of people. I'm sure that's in the book.
I'm
But
sure
that's
that's
in the
gotta
movie.
be. It's gotta be.
I think that's just in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but I pass on Watchers.
All right. Well, that sounds like
Or
that's
Dean
the
Sorry, Dean Koontz.
maybe
It
there's
was a good movie.
Servants of
Dreamcatcher?
Twilight. No, the Dreamcatcher
Is that
Stephen King. Jesus
What
Christ.
else?
Phantoms.
You made me Phantoms. I just threw
Phantoms. I thought that
threw
was
Servants
good.
of Twilight out there. I haven't actually seen it.
Odd Thomas, that was a horrible movie.
Hot time.
It's a great book. Read Odd Thomas. The
Isn't it
movie
the
is
Frankenstein
horrible.
with
No, that's Frankenstein.
but isn't that Dean Koontz?
Koontz.
Dean Koontz wrote the Frankenstein books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but is it the one that Aaron Eckhart?
No.
That movie's not based off of
No.
those books.
No,
Is it-
Frankenstein was made for TV. Scorsese produced it. And
Yeah?
it had,
Really?
it had like what's the
Was it
fucking
Parker
guy?
Posey? Wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or-
Parker Posey.
Was that
It's not
the
Jonah
Sci-Fi
Goldberg.
Channel did it?
Is it Jonah Goldberg?
We're going way off.
And the guy from The Crow 2 was Frankenstein.
Crazy.
Interesting.
Anyway, Dean
Yeah.
Koontz.
Dean Koontz. I don't know if he has a good. I don't know. Intensity. That was TV also. I don't know.
I don't know.
So next week, Holly's going to be joining the Freak Show. She's going pro. She's the first time up at bat.
welcome to
What are you
the
going to
leagues.
subject us to next week, Holly?
Next week, we're watching Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon,
Barry Gordy.
1985. It's good stuff.
Show enough.
Yeah?
Show enough.
Show
You
enough.
feeling the rhythm of the night?
I like that movie.
Right then. Well, it's next week on the Saturday Night Freak Show. We hope you'll join us then. And until then, the basement is going down.
Kiss my Converse.